Over the course of the last several years, I've been inundated with unsolicited emails and communications and packages from bands attempting to get booked at the Hemlock. When I first started, which was roughly 10 years ago, within a couple of weeks of the bar opening, it was pretty much an overnight deluge of packages arriving in the mail. You know, like padded mailers, and there were hundreds, if not thousands, over the course of the first few months. I mean, every day was bringing another 25-gallon trash bag full of these submissions. And you'd open one up, and there would be a padded mailer. I started calling them full mint. Anyone? This is actually this is a 9-year-old booking mint. Combining the jazz-influenced vocal class of Ben Folds, the pop sensibility of Blink-182, and the straight-up kick-ass driving hardcore punk of Lagwagon, this album contains bass and guitar licks so lush, so carefully placed, it is difficult to abandon these three Grand Forks, North Dakota natives among today's punk market. I just moved here from New Jersey. My major influences include the Deftones, 311 and 9 Inch Nails, and Johnny Cash. I believe this generation is missing a certain style, and I intend to fill that gap with my dope style. Tony, our music can be related to Jason Mraz, Switchfoot, John Mayer, and Dave Matthews Band, to name a few. You can also expect a small draw from us, guaranteed 6 to 10 people at the moment, to be honest. Tony, they're not likely worth a single ticket in the market at this point. I just wondered if you had anything that made sense that they might be able to squeeze onto one of your bills. They sound like U2 meets Depeche Mode meets Coldplay. Let me know. If you like Silverchair and Helmet, but always wish they had a woman singing lead, here you go. Our band prides itself on being professionals in all aspects of individual musicianship and business etiquette, to a keen focus on details in our self-performed, written, engineered, produced, and self-mastered tracks. Influences include Franz Ferdinand, Arctic Monkeys, The Strokes, and modern alternative indie, pretty much guaranteeing that you've never heard anything quite like us. Fortune 500 sound has been likened to a Green Day Weezer sandwich with a crunchy Pete Townsend middle. And lastly, I tell the yuppies I sound like Feist, Regina Spektor, Cat Power, Coco Rosie, Nico Case, because hopefully they've heard of one of those. I tell everybody else that I was trained as a jazz singer for 10 years and adapting anti-folk and gypsy songwriting styles to lyrics and melodies dedicated to women, the men they love, hate, and are tormented by, sex and reproduction, and concepts of freedom. A powerful, brooding ballad about a girl he loved and lost that bristles with his melancholic drawl, building gradually from stripped-back strum into a stately string-led anthem. Meanwhile, a twisting slice of melodic redemption. That's layers of guitar and defiant vocals building an atmosphere of hope through pain. Tony, these recordings cannot and do not capture the realism of our live show. They are Polaroid snapshots compared to the three-dimensional graphics of sound and human suffering. Dimensional is spelled D-E-M-E-N-T-I-O-N-A-L. And my personal favorite, their debut EP is an intense, warm guitar riff dick slap, coupled with thick syrup bass lines and sonic boom drum explosions that will make sure you're on your million orgasm. Fellow human beings, here come the pain train. Tony, we are 3 brothers and 2 friends from Northeast Los Angeles. We started playing when my brother Fairman was shot in the face coming out of college. Some guys on PCP were randomly shooting people, and my brother was a target. Tony, Housefire is determined to burn down the city of Portland, and since the band's conception in the spring of 2009, it's been doing everything in its damn power to do just that. Band founders Joseph Craig and John Lewis started playing together in 2007 under the moniker Thurt. Thart? T-H-E-A-R-T? Thart? And though the foursome's lifespan was a mere few months due to difficult band members, Craig and Lewis's chemistry was strong enough to reconnect the musicians in early 2009 when Lewis decided to trade in his guitar for a set of drumsticks. And what a good decision that was. Lewis's hi-hat driven drumming technique meshed with Craig's melancholy minor piano guitar chords and high-pitched croons. And then bassist Corey Fields' solid bass lines created fantastically morose melodies. Add layer upon layer of electronic bleeps and gritty static, and you've got yourself an experimental electronic masterpiece. A unique brand of neo-psychedelic Casio core with traces of Civil War-era lo-fi alt vaudeville while attaining a strict post-electro baroque pop background. It is such a relief knowing that there is talent and drive still eminent in Los Angeles in bands such as Discovery Zone. The band thrives on the ideals of layered songs and quirky sounds, developing an onslaught of chords produced by the talent that protrudes throughout their fingertips and their vocal cords. They are the definition of indie. This one's for Noise Pop. The definition of indie. The level of emotional dedication that pours out of their music is extraordinary. R&B back to what it used to be, where if a guy couldn't fully express himself, he would play one of the songs that was out at the time. You know, if you wanted to apologize, if you wanted to say, I want to make love tonight, or let's get back together, or even, I don't want to be with you anymore. Nobody's saying that now. Nobody's celebrating women the way they're supposed to. I got that covered. Tank's lyrics speak to the ageless subjects of love and loss over sonically sophisticated tracks that dim the lights on all their own. Quote, "It's the basis of my music for this album," he says. "It's all dealing with aspects of relationships, mostly from a man to a woman, but whether it be your homies or whatever." Strutted the stage at Bottom of the Hill on a weekend night, or had the distinct privilege to have Tony from the Hemlock answer his phone. You know who you are. The ones who still fit into your tough skins, driving your 1963 slant sixes to El Farolito.